Hi, I'm creating this video because I think a lot of people don't know how to play Sploop, and I'm just here to teach some very basic rules on how to do a 1v1. You might notice that I'm not fighting anybody, I'm just here alone, but I'm going to set up some examples on just what to do in a 1v1, right? Standard techniques. I'm just going to go over very basic things here, and that's all I'm going to do for this video. So the first thing is the build, okay? The standard build for a 1v1 will always be katana, hammer, cookie, then hard spike, and traps. When it comes to hats, if you're from Moo, you might know about hat switching. I wouldn't recommend it. I think the better idea and the more consistent option is to pick either crystal gear or immunity gear. Both of these hats are very similar to soldier helmet from Moo. It just makes it so you take less damage. The only difference between the two is that crystal gear is slightly slower and it makes your character easier to control because it is slower. And immunity gear, it doesn't have any movement speed debuff, right? So you're more mobile, but it's also harder to control your character. I used to use immunity a lot. I've been using crystal gear lately. It is your choice, but you usually want to just pick one or the other. It looks the same for me because I'm using a texture pack, but the hats are in fact different. You pick one or the other, and you stick with it throughout the whole 1v1. You close the hat shop, you don't even open it. The only time you will ever maybe open the hat shop is if there's an enemy in your trap, right? Just doing this, okay? And you notice he's not healing, you can just whip out the bull helmet and do this. That's the only time you will ever really open the hat shop. And you want to, if you're going to do that, you want to open it with a key. Like the G key, I use the G key to open my hat shop. And I'm using escape to close it. The default key for the hat shop is N, I think. You could change your keybinds in your Sploop BIOS settings. You can figure out where that is yourself. I'm sure you're smart. Alright. A proper 1v1 starts with a wooden wall in between both players, right? I'm on one side, my opponent is usually 180 degrees on the other side. We will both try and break the wall, and only when the wall breaks am I allowed to place any sort of buildings. If you hit the enemy player with melee damage, that's not so bad. You just want to break the wall. The first thing you're going to want to do is probably try and place a trap, okay? But if you're the other guy, you try to place a trap and it doesn't work, you place a trap, right? Just back up a little, place a trap like right here, one here. What you want to do is you want to make like one straight wall of traps, about 3 to 4 traps. 4 is a lot more comfortable. But when you're placing these traps, you want to make sure that it's as close to the enemy traps as possible. You see these 4, right, are mine currently. This one is the opponent's, okay? You see how close together they are? This is what you want, okay? Now you can't see the enemy traps, but you just want to try your best to have your front wall of traps, you want it to be as close to the enemy traps as possible. Now after you have the first layer of traps placed, next thing you want to do is place a second layer, and it's basically going to be a copy and paste of the first layer. Sometimes not, but in this case, these traps here, they're pretty straight, so I could just place one trap behind every single one I've already placed. You want to place them nice and close together, kind of like this, right? This is pretty good. This is usually what you want. You don't have to be too fast, especially if you're starting out, right? Just make sure that you're placing it nice and close. It doesn't have to be 100% pixel perfect. You want it to try and get around somewhere around this, right? You notice like this trap here, there's a small gap in the middle. You could see it visually, right? You could potentially place the traps closer. You don't have to, that's close enough. You know, you want to get it nice and neat, but it doesn't have to be pixel perfect. If it's too perfect, it can be hard to manage your traps. But don't keep it too don't put too much space in between the traps either. This is about perfect. Like keep it about this. Right. The next thing is pushing enemy traps. Okay. I'm not going to go into why you push or why you defend or why you do this and that. This is basics, right? So I'm just going over, okay, now you're in this position, you're going to want to attack your enemy, right? Simple as that. Pretty simple. Assuming that the enemy traps, right, are kind of like this, because your first wall of traps here, right, these four are as close to these enemy traps as possible, assuming that they're like these traps I can't see, right, because they're enemy traps. Assuming they're just like right in front of me. You want to take your character, okay? You want to take your character and you want to extend him about this far past your traps, okay? Like this far. Any more like this far, about here, this is overextending, okay? And I might sound crazy, you know, but it's true. The farther out you go, the more risky it is, and you are able to push your trap with absolutely zero risk if you just extend about this much. You can still potentially make contact with an enemy trap, which gets you trapped in it, which then reveals the trap, then you can break it, right? So let's say an enemy trap is right here, right? And I'm kind of going like this, and then I bump into it, right? I only have to touch it this much to be in the trap and to see this trap right here. Okay, I'm literally just as deep into my own traps, if not deeper, than like this trap. Okay, you can extend like barely and make contact with enemy traps. I promise you. You do not have to extend like this. You don't have to extend far like that. You don't. When people do that, they get killed. When I am trying to extend myself a little bit to try and touch an enemy trap to reveal it and then break it, right? Notice I'm not really trying to extend like here, okay? I'm not trying to extend on the sides, not here, not here. You want to stay more in the middle, okay? And I could explain it, but again, I want to keep things basic, so I'm just going to say listen to me, okay? And if you don't, then eventually you just learn the hard way why you want to try not play around here, you want to try not play around here. Just to keep things simple, your traps aren't protecting you as well, and it's riskier. Alright, basic defense. Alright, now for a second, I'm going to be the enemy guy, okay? I'm going to be like, okay, I'm going to push this trap right here, okay? And then I'm going to start like hitting it because I want to break it, okay? That's what any enemy would do. Now, of course, this trap and this trap, I'm damaging because they're actually my traps in game. But in an actual 1v1, your opponent wouldn't be damaging this trap or this one because, well, they're not revealed. You know, they're invisible. They would only be damaging the one right here because that's the one that was revealed. That's the one they made physical contact with, right? So they'd be attacking it. We got company. As you're the guy over here, what you want to do is you pretty much just want to hold a trap over, and when it breaks, right? When this one breaks, you want to just retrap it, okay? As you're doing this, feel free to fuck around with the guy, right? Hit him. You know, if he's hitting you back, spam heal. You know? I'm just gonna listen to him. I don't give a shit. Okay, I said that. Can you leave, bro? We're back in this scenario, right? We got the four in the front, the ones in the back, right? It doesn't have to be the same number as long as it just pretty much backs up all the front layer traps. That's the purpose of the back layer, is to back up the front layer. Because like basically, if an enemy comes here and breaks the trap they're in, right? They're gonna try and place. When they hold out their trap, they can't place because this trap right here is blocking the placement for this trap here. Okay, like if this trap was gone and I break this one, then I can place that in front of me. But if this one is still here, I can't place because it's in the way. You can see. That's the whole purpose of a second layer, is to back up the first layer after one of the traps in the first layer break. What is this? Do I have to be aggressive? Get over here. Die. Thank you. Die. I don't know, dude. He kicked me. Die. Get out. Get out of my classroom. I don't care how neat this is. I'm just trying to make an example, right? You're fighting. You're doing this. You're doing that. Okay, and you realize, wait, this trap right here, I think, is really fucking low. Okay, actually, no. I'm gonna use this. This is a better example for basic shit, right? Wow, this trap is really fucking low. I can tell because I just know I've hit it a bunch of times. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna break it real quick and then retrap it, and now it's replaced with a trap in the exact same spot as previously, but it has more health. Fucking die. So the hitbox for traps are smaller than the hitbox for spikes. Traps are physically smaller than spikes, which means if there's a tight ass area like this, for example, I'm just creating a tight area, right? You see how this trap fits in here? Let's see if I can fit a spike in here. I bet I can't. If I can't, I deserve to be in jail. Wow, I literally can't, but can I place a trap? Oh, 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 oh. Okay, so now you know. Traps are smaller than spikes. What does this mean? It means that if you want the highest chance of getting a placement, and you had the option between a trap and a spike, always choose the trap. Let's go back to this shit again. Now, when it comes to how to kill people, it's a lot more advanced, okay? And again, to keep things basic, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say basically, because you're a beginner, right? It's fine if you don't know everything yet. You don't have to know everything. You'll learn over time. Just get this trap formation, okay? Make sure you're healing melee damage for fuck's sake. And just fight your enemy. Just don't extend too hard, you know. Do the thing where you extend a little bit, you touch an enemy trap, you break it, right? And then after that, you walk back a little bit, and then you try and place, you know, and then you keep fighting and whatever until your opponent dies. Or you die, because you're a noob, and that's fine. Who's this guy? I don't know. That pretty much concludes my video, though. That's pretty much everything I wanted to share with you guys. That is pretty much all the basics. I'm going to make more stuff. I guess I'll 1v1 this guy, why not? Sure, let's go. I'm down. Now, usually when someone places a spawn pad, I'll tell them that they placed a spawn pad because they plan on dying. Oh, he's counting down. Yeah, you don't count down. You just break the wall. You don't count down, by the way. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna... Yeah. I'm gonna retrap that. And place here. Now, I'm just gonna try and place more of my front layer, and then I'm just gonna place my back. Okay. I extended there. That's my bad. Yeah, right now I want to try and set an example. I don't want to like break all the rules. I just like told you guys, you know, and if I am, I'm sorry. It's bad habit. You should be following the rules I'm saying. Like at that point it just comes down to discipline. So here, right, I replace the trap. Okay. Watch this man try and push me. I shouldn't have ran into this trap. If he goes into one of my traps, I don't go into one of his. I stay in my trap area and then I try to retrap the trap that he is in. I know I'm saying trap a lot, but I kind of have to. Okay, so just gonna hit him, then I'm gonna retrap there, and then I'm gonna place here, and then I'm gonna like, okay, I need to not play around the edges. I'm gonna push like right here. See if I can find a trap. Okay, I don't want to extend too hard. Okay, oh, here we go. I found a trap that was right in that area, right next to this trap right here. And pushing that meant basically zero risk because there was a trap right next to me guarding. Okay. Now, because this guy is a noob, right? All you noobs can fight him like, just fight him till he dies or till you die, you know? Because you're just starting out. Yar, hit him. Oh, he died to melee damage. Wow, crazy. Just outlast the guy, okay? The thing about Sploop is that, especially when both players are good, 1v1s last for years. And the reason is because they make mistakes not very often. And it's pretty difficult to punish mistakes sometimes, I'll be honest. It's really about minimizing mistakes and making and not making mistakes more consistently. The more consistent player will win. Most of the time. That's pretty much Sploop 1v1s for you. So yeah, I hope that some of you learned something from this video. I'm sure that some of you watching may be saying, what the fuck is this? You know, because I'm only talking about really basic shit. But yeah, I'm not trying to teach top players my crazy secrets or any of that shit. At least not in this video, maybe later, you know. I learned a few things that other people don't do, I think. But anyways, I hope you guys learned something. So that'll be it. I'm just gonna turn off the recording and goodbye. Have a good day, night, whatever.